All great adventures have one thing in common, and that it starts with a FaceTime call. Wait, that's not how it goes. Cue the intro. So this tale of this spontaneous San Francisco trip stems back all the way back in July of this year. It was at the peak of quarantine, I'd say, and everyone was getting antsy. This was going to be, the first real holiday without actually socially interacting. And it was hard for a lot of people. And with that in mind, we were antsy ourselves too. We got the day off. It was July 4th and we didn't know how to spend it. So I woke up that morning and I had an idea. That idea was something crazy, and honestly at the time, I didn't think that they would agree to it or even, would remotely think about it. So it was mostly a joke on my part. But they didn't see it like that. I call up Johnny, I call him up on a FaceTime call, and I say, hey, what are the odds we drive up to San Francisco today? And his answer surprised me. He told me he was down, just Gage would have to be also down, and that was already, quite a bit of a long shot, so I wasn't expecting much. But sure enough, Gage said yes, and we were on our way. It was an 8-hour drive. It's not something that, normal people would take on their day off of work, but we were on a mission, and our mission was to get to San Francisco before sunset. And we mobbed. We drove and switched off drivers, taking really short breaks, stopping only maybe for a little bit to get some food. But that was about it. And with the sun setting close, we knew, we were on a time crunch. And once we got there and we saw that bridge, we knew it was all worth it. Kind of seeing Johnny for the first time, seeing San Francisco, it's a sight to behold in itself, and we were all just super amazed that we made it there just in time. And with the bridge looming behind us and all these great things, we can only imagine what the next day would bring to our adventures up in the Bay Area. And with COVID, granted, we were in San Francisco. There wasn't very much to do per se, but it was still, a cool experience for Johnny, because this is one of those few moments that he hasn't experienced. And to him, this was all new and exciting for him, so it made it even all more worth it. And we went, to all the tourist spots that you could think of. You name it, we went to it. Ghirardelli Square, Fisherman's Wharf, Golden Gate Bridge, all these different places, and even more. We even stopped by Muir, State Beach, and it was a beautiful, beautiful sight to behold there. And it was just, a one-time kind of adventure, and it all started off by saying yes at the beginning of it. And I forgot to mention too, the whole closing deal of this whole agreement of actually going up came down to a very, very weird kind of a thing. Essentially, the whole request was, we're gonna have to find a place to stay, and it has to be cheap. And I said, well, we could, find an Airbnb or something, and we ended up finding something cheaper, but not necessarily better. And I brought it up as a joke, just like the whole trip itself, but they actually took it seriously and were down to stay there. It was this dinky little motel in the south of San Francisco, and it was very, very weird experience. When we got there, they told us we would have 3 beds, 2 regular beds, and then 1 pull-out cot. And it turned out that there were only 2 regular beds, and when we asked, for another one, they said, yeah, for sure, we'll send someone up. And the guy who ended up coming up, he could not understand what we were asking for. We kept trying to explain that we just wanted, a little pull-out cot that, every hotel pretty much has, but For some reason he couldn't understand it, and it took him 3 tries. The first time he came in, he gave us, I think, new bed sheets, and then we said, no, we want, we tried to explain a little bit better, a pull-out cot, like a little rolly bed, and he, was like, oh yeah, I got that. He comes back with a plastic bag, and then we're like, no, like, we pointed, at one of our other beds, and we said we want the same thing, but, portable or rolling, and then till finally the last thing that he gave us was a trash can. So pretty much describes our experience at the hotel, but we did end up getting, that rollout cot, and guess who had to sleep on it. The rest of the trip was pretty fun too. We also got to stop by and visit my family's place a little bit in the Bay Area, and we also got to have my favorite burritos at this taco truck in Fremont. 16 inches of burrito. It was good, and I'm definitely going to get some more when I go back up in a week. All in all, it was just one of those trips that you get to only experience by taking that leap of faith and kind of going out of your comfort zone, being able to say yes to the adventure and no to the laziness and safety of just staying at home. Because although you don't know what to expect when you're gonna go out there and do it, it's also, the excitement within that of the mystery of it all. And I'd say, 9 times out of 10 times of me, doing something spontaneous has turned out well. So that's the story of the spontaneous San Francisco trip. If you like this video, make sure to like it by pressing the button down below. If you aren't already subscribed so you don't miss out on future adventures. Comment and let us know, kind of what adventures you want to see more of. And we'll see you guys next time. Alright, bye. We were told there was going to be like another rollout bed. The front desk told us they were going to have, like a small bed.
They charged more.
Yeah.
The other one? Whole bed.
Yeah, like another little bed, like a rollout one kind of.